Well, hi, friends. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani along with Jerry Usher. And yes, Jerry is a friend of mine. I do feel like he's a family member, though. He's the brother I probably should have had, I think. And he's a great friend. And today we're going to jump right in because we know the phone lines are going to be full with this topic that we have picked out for you. We're talking about friends versus family. Now, we're not in a competition or anything, just kind of what's the pros and cons of having friends as kind of like family members, and then what's the positive side of the beautiful family that God created for all of us to have. So we're talking today about if maybe your friends feel more like family members, if your family is really your best friends with your siblings, or maybe you're not. But we want to hear from you. It's going to be a great conversation. I've got a lot to share about it. I come from a very large Italian Catholic family, and Jerry does as well. And I'm sure we could share a lot about how our friends play into our life and how our family does. But Jerry, you are the brother I should have had. I feel it. I feel it strongly.
Well, that's very nice of you, Debbie. And yeah, we are all family in a sense, as members of the family of God. But what Debbie is kind of referring to today is, you know, the old saying, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And I don't know why it is, but and by the way, I just want to start by saying I'm very, very close to all of my siblings. We all get along great, but you know, we don't see eye to eye on everything. And so I think maybe that's the thing, Debbie, is, you know, we're all, you know, you're related by blood to your family, and there's a deeper bond, so you feel like you know, you're a little bit closer in one way biologically, but then with your friends, you can kind of pick the ones who are like-minded and think the way you do philosophically and ideologically and so forth. So there is that difference, you know, when it comes to family and friends.
It is easy to love your friends because you're right, like-mindedness, and you have fun with them, and you're kind of on your best behavior a little bit. Whereas family, you may maybe see not the not so good side of each other. I come from a large family, like I shared, and there was a time where we were very close. Our family, I'll be totally honest. A lot of the bonds have been broken and severed. I don't know if that's forever if they're severed, but we've grown up and grown apart, and we have differences. Things have happened in the past that have been hard to get over from some family members, and it was hard. It was emotionally hard because I love being part of a big family, and I only had 2 children myself. I always wanted a big family. It didn't work out that way for me, and so having some of those emotional ties to my family of origin being severed was very difficult. However, I will tell you, it's so funny how God works, Jerry. I have always been blessed with amazing friends. I still have my very, very best friend in the world, who is like a sister to me. She is the sister I should have had, Kristen, in North Carolina. We've been friends since she was 6 months. We were 6 months old. I mean, and I still have my friends from Catholic school, elementary school. I still have friends from high school, friends from college, friends from when we were raising children together, other moms that we were in moms groups together. And I feel very blessed that God has allowed friends to come into my life and to give me that training ground, if you will, to learn how to express feelings and emotions, and that relationship building skills, and all the things that really we should learn in a family, because it is the domestic church, and a chance for us to really attain holiness and grow in holiness and learn things about ourselves and people around us. So it's an interesting topic, Jerry. I'm curious as to where our listeners are going to take it. So dial in 1-800-585-9396.
All right, or you can text us. Text the letters EWTN to 55000. Wait for a brief moment and then leave your first name and your comment or your question, your take on this topic. And do remember that depending on your texting plan, there may be a data rate that applies to that. So we just have to make you remember that. Some things that I'm thinking about as you're talking there, Debbie. I'd love to hear from any of our listeners if you feel like here's the thing. I think we're more, at least this is my experience, I'm more reluctant, and I think we all are, to have tensions or confrontations with friends that sometimes arise with family members. I don't know why that is. We almost have this sort of deferential respect for friends, and we don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. But when it comes to family, sometimes we don't care what we say, And so this is one real distinction that I see between our inter-family relationships and our relationships with our friends. And maybe I'd love to hear from somebody else too. If you maybe you had a friend who was there for you when you thought, gee, my family's going to step in and support me now, going through a tough time. And none of them stepped up and came through, but there was this friend or a group of friends that helped you. Again, as Debbie said, this is not contrasting or setting up this sort of controversial opposition between family and friends. We're just looking at the dynamics to see, in the world that we each live in.
Well, Jerry, you're bringing up some really, deep thoughts. And dear listeners, I just wanted to say real quickly, if you can hear the high energy in our voices, it's because we're at the final full day of the Fall Share-a-thon at Sacred Heart Radio in Seattle. And we just got done finishing up a very exciting matching hour of pledges. And so I can feel my energy up high and the adrenaline. So I'm not overexcited about the family thing, but I'm excited about the Fall Share-a-thon. But so that's why you hear that energy in my voice, especially. But Jerry, you just said something interesting. I brought that up earlier at the introduction, is that we're on our best behavior with our friends. Your friends could walk away and say they don't want to be your friend anymore. You're kind of stuck with family. But you were talking about family, and if you have a really hard time, like a health crisis or something like that, well, our listeners, the Take Two listeners, know that happened to me. When I had cancer in 1994, I had a sibling who shall be nameless. They're probably listening to the show right now, who actually asked me if the cancer was contagious. And they were not there for me during the cancer ordeal that I went through. My friends were. My friend Debbie, who has called in on the show, she was there for me. Kristen was there for me. So many of my other friends were there for me when I needed them most. And they weren't blood relatives. So what does that say? Interesting.
Well, we're going to get set for the first short little pause here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We have a phone line that is open at 1-800-585-9396. Share with us if you have close relationships within your family. Maybe it's the same for you. Great relationships with family and with friends, or any of the other things that we have brought up and talked about here. 1-800-585-9396. We'll start with Anna in Ohio in just a minute.
The wisdom of Mother Angelica.
I want to read you something from Galatians. When you were baptized, it was as though you had put on Christ in the same way you put on new clothes. Faith in Christ Jesus is what makes each of you equal with each other, whether you are a Jew, a Greek, a slave, or a free person, a man or a woman. And what Galatians really said is, now that the time has come, we are no longer under that guardian, and you are all of you sons of God through faith in Jesus. See how they took out sons of God? All baptized in Christ. You are all clothed in Christ, and there are no more distinctions between Jew, Greek, slave, free, male or female. All of you are one in Christ.
For more information on Mother Angelica, visit Religious Catalog at EWTNRC.com.
No Catholic radio station in your area? Perhaps God is calling you to get involved. Learn more about starting a Catholic radio station where you live. Contact Jack Williams, 205-795-5756, or jwilliams@EWTN.com today.
Get an insider's look at the latest information from EWTN. Sign up for Wings, EWTN's weekly email newsletter. Get the latest information about live events, special features, and guests. Connect with EWTN on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Just go to EWTN.com and click on the Wings link to sign up. Don't miss a minute of all that's happening at EWTN. Get your wings today.
Hello, this is Bishop Ronald Gaynor of the Diocese of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
This is Michael Warsaw, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of EWTN.
This is Father Mitch Pacwa. Thanks for listening to the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, and we're talking about friends versus family today on Take Two. But we need to hear from you because you drive the show. I just want to rewind a little bit. When I shared that I'm not that excited about talking about family, what I mean by that is, of course, it's disappointing. Everybody wants their family to be like the Leave It to Beaver family, and mine is not. I'll be totally upfront and share that. And it's disappointing, and it's hard to talk about. I was sharing with Jerry at the break that when he was sharing he's close with his family members, it kind of hurt a little. I felt a twinge in my heart because I wanted that for my family. It didn't happen, but God did bless me and my husband with great friends that are truly like family to us. Okay, Anna, I just want to make sure you correct me which way it is. In listening to EWTN Radio in Ohio on St. Gabriel Radio. Hi, is it Anna or Anna?
It's Anna.
Anna. Hi, Anna. Yeah. Welcome to Take Two.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Debbie and my family is just like yours. Oh. Unfortunately, I come from a large family. I'm the only remaining Catholic of the siblings. 3 years ago, I had a sister who viciously attacked me. I thought my other 3 sisters would come up to protect my back, but instead they jumped on it, put knives in my back, twisted. And probably enjoyed the ride. Well, that sent me that definitely sent me to my knees to God. And for a year and a half, I cried over my broken heart. But you know what? It took me about 2 years to understand that God closes doors that need to be closed. And He opens doors to those the path that He wants you to go down. And that's exactly what He's done for me. He has brought in, I may have lost 4 sisters. He has brought in 7 beautiful women into my life who are going down the same path that I am, trying to reach for heaven every day of our lives. 2 years ago, I came to realize that it was meant to be, because God had a different path for me to go. And in order to get my attention, I had to be hurt very deeply. And He got my attention, so He sent me on a path down hospice volunteering, which is pretty incredible. But I only have one thing to say, truly, beyond those, is that 2 years ago I was traveling out in Arizona. My husband and I were traveling out in Arizona, and I saw this sign in this restaurant that I should have bought, which really depicts what I think God did for me. The sign said, "Friends are God's way of apologizing for family."
Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember what store that was in Arizona? Because I live in Arizona, Anna. I'll go pick up signs for both of us.
I would love it. It's in the small town right south of the Grand Canyon. I forget the name of it. It's not Carson. It has Route 66 through it, and it was in a restaurant.
You know what? I think my husband knows that exact area. I will ask him, and when we're traveling there, if I pick one up, email me your address, will you, Anna? Wouldn't it be funny if God allows that to happen? If God allows that to happen, email me at take2 at EWTN, right? Take2 at EWTN. Anna, I thank you for sharing from your heart. And when you shared that we're in the same position, as you were talking, I was hearing my story in yours. And isn't it interesting, the similarities in what we have gone through, and what we had, like you said, you were brought to your knees, but then God brought these 7 beautiful women in your midst, and it has changed you spiritually, and the growth that happens. Amen to all of that. And I think the greatest thing that you and I probably both, if I can speak for us, is that we did learn from it, and it was meant to be, because for some reason it had to happen in our journey to get closer to God. And I have come to that that realization too, and that understanding, and it has brought me tremendous peace. Yes, talking about on the show, I'm disappointed in the family and how they've emotionally hurt me, but I realize that I'm okay, and there is a greater purpose to it.
No doubt about it, Debbie. I'm in your camp on that one, and I totally understand why God had me go down that very painful couple years of my life, because He truly wanted to bring me to go down a different road that He wanted me to go down instead of the road that I was on that I wanted to go down.
Wow, Anna, thank you for sharing that with us here today. And sorry that you had to go through that, but as you so beautifully have come to realize that your personal unique experience was for the better, and you sound really great. And so I guess Debbie and I would certainly pray. We presume you're probably praying. I hope that maybe there would be a reconciliation with your family members at some point. I know that's what God would want. But in the meantime, you sound really strong. You sound great. So thanks for calling, Anna. We appreciate it.
Thank you, and have a blessed day. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. We're talking about family, talking about friends today. How do we treat our friends different than our families? Do we have different relationships? Obviously, the family bond is deeper, and it cannot be broken. We can't, well, I guess we can say to our family members, I don't want to be around you, don't want to have anything to do with you. That's unfortunate if that happens, but still, we're family. But with friends, it's a little bit different. So we're going to hear more of your takes at 1-800-585-9396. Susie is listening to EWTN Radio on Sirius XM 130 in Pittsburgh. Hi, Susie. You're now on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Hello.
Hi, Susie.
I just wanted to say that in my situation, I have more concern for my family, and I have a bond that's going to last forever, whether or not we're close or not. I won't let something go with my family if I see that it's wrong, or even something that's nice. But I am most brutally honest with my family more than my friends, because my friends, they're important to me, but they're my friends, and sometimes they might not take the right path that I would want them to, but I kind of feel like, well, that's their business. But with my family, I speak up, and sometimes it gets me in trouble, but I probably won't ever change.
Well, yeah, it's interesting you'd bring that up, Susie, and I'm wondering what the reaction of your family is in situations like this. You said that sometimes, and we all have this situation where we not really sure what we should say. I mean, there are political differences, philosophical differences in families and so forth, but I think, do you find that it's because we're family that we really have to have that deep care and concern for one another?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I would be afraid to say the same thing to a friend, but I will say it to my family. And, I've heard the saying, you hurt the ones you love most. Well, that's not intentional, but it's because I care most about them.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, Susie, that's a really good point where you just said you hurt the ones you love the most. And it's interesting because the family is really supposed to be that wonderful place, that training ground for us to learn our emotions and to deal with relationships and to even have disagreements and arguments and resolve all issues. And it really is, but sometimes it doesn't turn out that way. I just have to ask you before we let you go, in your family, when you do speak very open and honest with your family members, are you able to move past that, or I mean, what happens if one of your family members gets resentful or starts to hold a grudge or something? Has that ever happened, or do you all have an understanding that you are going to speak openly and honestly to each other?
No, it's difficult to agree to disagree. I can do that with some of my siblings and not with the others. Some of them are, they do hold a grudge and they are resentful, and others aren't, even though we can disagree. So
Gotcha.
it's an art that I haven't mastered with all siblings and all family, but it's possible.
Right. So you know each other's personalities. That's good. That's really good. It sounds like. Yeah. Wait, oh, wow. Awesome, Susie. Thanks for blessing us today with your call. Thank you for taking the time. We know it takes time because you guys sometimes sit on the line for 7-8 minutes, and that's why we give the Virtual Patience Award. We don't know what you're going to do with that Virtual Patience Award, but we like to give it. So thanks, Susie. God bless you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Susie. We're going to go next to Sophia, who has been waiting on the line very, very patiently in Iowa, listening to Iowa Catholic Radio and EWTN Radio. Hi, Sophia. Welcome. You're next.
Hello.
Hi, Sophia. So what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, hello. My situation is I have a chronic illness.
Are you there, Sophia?
And
okay.
I have had it for a long time. There is some history. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Go ahead. Please continue.
I'm sorry. There's some history with my family prior, several years back. And then my sister and I had kind of a, truthful, how we feel about each other. And then my daughter and I have never seen eye to eye. She moved in, and that went sour real quick. In all this, I ended up with a flare-up with my lupus. And and anyway, so when talking to my sister or my daughter, I mean, they know I've, almost died with this disease 2 different times. And they don't even ask how I'm doing. They don't ask if I need anything. I live alone. But I definitely have friends that I can call on to help me with, daily living, I guess. So, I mean, in all that, I guess it really hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings tremendously.
Right.
But, they're not there.
Yeah, that especially with what you're going through. I'm not that familiar with lupus, Debbie. I don't know if you know that much about it. I just know that it's a chronic autoimmune disease, has a lot of different symptoms, inflammation. It could damage joints, kidneys, the heart and lungs. And so, Sophia, we want to promise you our prayers, and to the extent that we can help in that way, we certainly want to be there for you. And it does sound, I hope that you have had some degree of support around you. I mean, have you had anybody that you could really turn to when you just really need someone to lean on and talk to?
Yes, I have some friends that I know are not judgmental, and they, know what I'm going through. And I've recently reached out to a deacon, so...
Good, Sophia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that if you had, and you sounds like you have friend support and you reached out to your parish community, and that is good. And you need to do that. You need to feel that support. One thing I just want to share with you, because you do have this cross, if you will, that you are carrying, and you do need support. You do need people around you. Look for those blessings like you have, and you have identified that, the friends and your parish community, and that will hold you up. And I agree with Jerry. We believe in the power of prayer. So our Take Two family is going to surround you with prayer, Sophia. So feel that, and let those blessings just carry you, or help to carry you through some of the things you're dealing with. So just know that we care, and we love you, and we thank you for sharing your heart with us today, Sophia.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia, for the call. You can hear that music. We have to step aside just for a moment, and we'll be back with more of your calls. Georgia Ann, you're going to be next. We've got Marina and Kay. We've got a text from John text the letters EWTN to 55000. Let us know what you think about this discussion about some of the differences between family and friends on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Hi, I'm Doug Keck, and welcome to an EWTN Bookmark Brief. I just finished interviewing Susan Conroy about her new book, Praying with Mother Teresa. Susan, why don't you give our audience an idea of what the book's about?
When Mother Teresa was called home to God in heaven on September 5th, 1997, I started receiving a lot of phone calls, and most of them were kind of sad. Oh, this is so sad, Mother Teresa has passed away. And one call came from a fellow volunteer I was with in Calcutta, and he said, isn't this special? He said, we can pray to Mother Teresa now. And that was more my attitude. This is really special. She loved Jesus. She gets to see him face to face now, and we get to be close with Mother Teresa now. Calcutta is very far away. Heaven's a lot closer. Mother Teresa's only prayer away. And so this book is very special to me because it's Mother Teresa's own prayers and her own quotes to help us grow in holiness and grow in love.
Thank you so much, Susan Conroy. The book is Praying with Mother Teresa, Prayers, Insights, and Wisdoms of St. Teresa of Calcutta. Always good to see Susan. And this has been an EWTN Bookmark Brief. Look for the interview right here on EWTN.
In honor of our beloved foundress, EWTN has now released a second set of programs commemorating her entrance into eternity. In Memoriam, Mother Mary Angelica, a brand new 4-disc treasury that you'll cherish for years to come. Available now from EWTN Religious Catalog. Relive remarkable memories, heartfelt recollections, and laugh-out-loud anecdotes from friends, family, and even Mother herself.
I believe the network was created by God to teach the person in the living room, the person in the pew, how to live in a nitty-gritty, gutsy world.
Memorable moments from an unforgettable life. Make room on your video shelf today for In Memoriam, Mother Mary Angelica. Special live shows and short programs. Available now at EWTNRC.com.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
Thanks for joining us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're talking about friends and family today. And it's an interesting conversation we're having because you are driving this conversation, dear listeners. A couple things I wanted to share with you. Jerry shared it. You can text us. You can text the letters EWTN to 55000. You wait for a response. Then you type your first name and your question, and the data rates may apply depending on your service plan. You can also email us at take2@ewtn.com. You can look at our webpage at take2show.com. Look for the bright yellow button, the J&D button, and that's how you can get in touch with Jerry and I if you want us to come out and do a talk or maybe the show on location. Don't forget to like us on EWTN Catholic Radio Facebook. Okay, I think I did all the housekeeping, Jerry. We're ready to go back to the phones. Georgia Ann, you've been waiting so patiently. You got our Patience Award today in Minnesota on Real Presence Radio. Hi, Georgia Ann. Welcome to Take Two.
Hello.
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm doing just great. I've been enjoying the show for a few months now.
Oh, blessed be God. Thank you.
I had to call in because I just have a wonderful family. I consider us imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect. I'm not sure which you would call us. And, you know, no family is perfect, but I have to say that even within, I come from a family of 9. I'm the seventh of 9, and I have 5 sisters and 3 brothers. And we all are on our own journey in many different ways, certainly spiritually. And while nobody has, not everybody's practicing their Catholic faith, nobody has officially left the Catholic Church, and I don't see them practicing in any other faith tradition. But we are trying to just love everybody through wherever they're at, and it really helps us to, with prayer, to be able to work through that if we see something that is really hard to watch or listen to. And there's, I'm very close with my sisters, and my brothers, well, it's close with them, but not like with my sister. We go on retreat with my sisters. As a matter of fact, I'm headed on retreat here shortly with 2 of them and 3 nieces. And it's just really wonderful to be in a family system that I feel our parents have fostered to help us, to have us be there for each other in times of need, in times of everything. And my mother is going to be 90 in February and planning a big celebration. And it's just, we just love each other, regardless of whether we like everything that somebody does.
Yeah, Georgianne, I'm going to go first here. I know Debbie has some thoughts, but I love what you said. Your family is imperfectly perfect, and I've heard of marriages and families described as saint-making machines. And as we interact with our families and so forth, we must. I think the overarching thing that you help to bring out in my mind is whether it's family or friends, we must seek the good of every individual, and that is the eternal good, obviously. And so not compromising what we know to be true, but also love it. Like I think you said something about loving people into a better place or something like that. So Debbie, I'm just very blessed by what Georgianne has shared here, and I just really, it sounds like a great and awesome family, especially going on retreat with some of your siblings.
Well, one of 9, Georgianne. If I just slipped in, you probably wouldn't even notice me. Can I just join the family?
Yeah.
Really, that's you're blessed. You're absolutely blessed, and I love your spirit with it, your outlook, the way you accept one another, and yes, going on retreats together. How beautiful is that? And I really loved what you had to say about when you were there in times of need. I would agree with you. I come from a large family as well, and if my family members needed me, absolutely would I be there. I would be there so quick it would make people's heads spin, and I think we all felt that way because there is that innate connection that you have and the dynamic of a big family. But Georgianne, your family's blessed. I hope they hear this broadcast. They can go on YouTube later and download it and listen to it, because you have really, I think you've really honored your family, your parents, and you're one of the fortunate ones, and we're happy for you. We celebrate that with you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I've had people tell us that we're kind of an anomaly because we have so much fun together. Every year, I have a lot of nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews, and we all get together no matter what. The week before Christmas, we rent a hotel, we all come together, and we celebrate and see each other. And every time, because we don't get to see each other that often because the family's doing their thing, but we can just laugh like the best of them. And I think that has been a huge part of keeping our family together, is the laughter, the stories, it is. I am blessed. I'm very blessed, and to be a part of this family, and I wouldn't trade any of them for anything. So.
Awesome. Well, what more could you ask for, Georgianne? And I'll bet you got some pretty good friends, too.
Oh, I do. And matter of fact, they've come into the fold. Like you said, Debbie, we have invited them. They're like, I have some female friends that are only girls, and we have invited them on retreat. They come on retreat with us. We just have a blast. The more, the merrier.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna invite myself. Invite me to a retreat someday. Seriously, if you'll have me. I don't know. I can laugh. I can laugh. It's I would have a good time with you guys. You sound. Wow, I could hear the joy in your voice, and we're celebrating. You give us hope. You give us hope that it can be done, and I mean, pray for all of us. Will you, Georgianne, get your family to pray that for those of us who don't have what you have, maybe we could, you give us that hope that it could be maybe someday, if not here, and then in eternity. Then I guess,
exactly.
But thank you, thank you so very much.
God bless the work you do.
Thanks, Georgianne. Have a great retreat, and we'll pray for that. It's very spiritually enriching. All right, here's the number, 1-800-585-9396. Feel free to share your own experience to the degree that you are comfortable doing. Family dynamics, friends. We've talked already on the show about how I think sometimes we're a little skittish around friends to maybe say something that might be a little bit confrontational or something, but I don't know, those words just kind of flow out with family. But also I know in my own experience, and maybe, dear listeners, it's been your experience, that my siblings and I all get along. We get along just fine, but there's kind of unwritten rules of things you don't really delve into too deeply. I know there are political leanings that are different in our family. Not all of us practice the faith, for example. So I think that, and I think that that's okay. But maybe I'm wrong, Debbie. Maybe I'm wrong to feel like. I'm not saying. Go along to get along, but I mean, just certain things you don't really press too much.
Well, who made these rules? Are these unwritten rules? Did Mary, the oldest child, did she say sit down with all of your siblings and say, okay, these are the rules? How did you know the rules? I guess that's what the boundaries, if you will.
Probably trial and error. You have certain conversations and you realize, well, maybe let's just watch football together or something. All right. Anyway, 1-800-585-9396. I do love all of my siblings, though, honestly. Marina, all right, you're next. Thanks for being so patient, Marina, listening on the EWTN app in Greenville, Indiana. Hello, Maria. Happy Friday to you.
Hi. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Sure.
My experience, I'm Spanish, and I'm the oldest of 7 kids. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister, and we are all scattered around the world. I have 2 brothers living in China, 1 brother living in Germany, and the rest live closer to my parents. And we have a WhatsApp group. And it is the same with my cousins. We have another WhatsApp group with my cousins, and we are daily in contact with each other, despite the distance. So I'm really blessed that I get along with my siblings and my cousins. And my dad went through surgery this Tuesday for cancer.
Yeah.
And and it was really good to know that my sister and 2 of my brothers were there. One of my brothers that is there is a priest. So my father was in good hands. Thank God, everything has turned out really well. And I can talk to my dad every day through WhatsApp. So I'm really blessed that, I have the family I have and the chance to talk to my dad through this tough time.
Sure. So your dad's doing okay, Marina? You said he came through the surgery okay?
Yes, came out through the surgery okay. He's already eating. They have removed the epidural anesthesia that he's had for 2 or 3 days. And so he's doing really well. And on top of that, my best friend married my brother. So she's become family too.
Well, what you've listed a lot of blessings, Marina. I mean, first of all, that your father had the support and the presence of some of your siblings there when he went through that surgery. One of them being a priest. Wow, what a great gift that is! And do you get a chance? This is fascinating, Marina, that your siblings are spread out throughout the world. That's kind of the world we live in today. But do you get a chance for all of you to maybe come together and spend time together on occasion?
Well, we typically try to meet on Christmas. Christmas is very special for all of us in our family. It's probably the biggest celebration we have in the year. Not every year is possible because I've been dealing with issues with my visa here, getting it, not getting it. When you get it, until they give you the green card, then you cannot get out of the country. So probably this year I won't be able to go. But we try to meet all the years in Christmas.
That's beautiful. Marina, you can hear the love you have for your family and your brother, the priest, and your dad. And Marina, if it's okay with you, can you give us your dad's first name so we can all pray that he makes a full recovery? Could you give us his first name?
Yeah, his name is Javier.
Got it. Okay, perfect. We will all pray as a Take Two family, and we just are so blessed at your call today. Your beautiful heart is just speaking. It's loudly to us, and I think it allows us to really process and to learn to appreciate what our family members can do to hold us up emotionally, especially during this time with your father Javier. I mean, your family came around and you felt comforted that your brother the priest was there, and that's beautiful. You're blessed, Marina.
Certainly.
You're blessed.
Thank you very much. Bless you for all the good work you do, and know that you are becoming family to me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, what a beautiful blessing, Marina. Thank you for including us in your family, and we hope that you all feel that way. We talk about the Take Two with Jerry and Debbie family all the time, but we do this show really to give you an opportunity to express yourself, your life, your highs, your lows, your challenges, and really to minister to one another. It's a peer-to-peer opportunity here. So, and speaking of programs, I want to mention tomorrow on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Masked Appeal with Colleen Kelly Mast, a really fantastic lady. 2 hours of family life topics, Catholic issues, motivation, and inspiration. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, tomorrow on EWTN Radio.
I love her. She's so great. She's friends, but she's like family, so we love her as well. So tune in for that show. John texted in, and I want to share real quickly what John said because it was very profound. He said, in my experience, there is no trust or support in family or friends. At some point, everybody will betray you or leave you high and dry. And wow, that's a strong statement. So, John, you know what? The one thing I would say to that is I think just by our fallen nature, just by the fact that we can succumb to just sometimes bad behavior. I know this from experience. I was betrayed deeply in my past years by people that I thought would never betray me, closest actual person to me. And I just think people make really bad decisions, and they are not they're not thinking out the long-term effects of things, and so it's a strong statement to make, John. But here's the thing. Going back to Anna, we have to really kind of learn that sometimes things happen all for a reason, and if it can make us grow more in our faith and learn more and evolve more and get closer to God. Sometimes these really hard things that we endure through other people making really bad decisions and hurting us emotionally. How do you say this, Jerry? It really does end up being a growth spurt, a spiritual growth spurt that gets us closer to God. And that's what God wants for all of us. He wants us to be united with Him. That's the main goal for us as human beings. And so I just say, John, you know, we've felt that, and I can hear your pain in that, because betrayal is a tough thing to get over. But you know, that's why we do shows like this, so we can learn and grow together.
Yeah, I would just tag on to that. The only one thing, Debbie, I know you know this, and John, sometimes when it's hard to trust, especially trust human beings, remember that Jesus is the one we can trust, will never, ever let us down. So focus on the divine mercy image, John, and just repeat, Jesus, I trust in you, as often as you need to build up that trust in Jesus. All right, back to your phone calls. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio, talking about family and friends, the differences, the similarities, how we interact with those two different groups in our lives. And Teresa is next, listening to EWTN Radio in New Mexico. Hi, Teresa. Welcome aboard. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you today?
Doing great, Teresa. Thank you.
It's a beautiful day out there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
To appreciate our family.
Praise God.
I know I have trouble doing that because I come from a family filled with trauma, PTSD, and it's been hard trying to keep the family together, and during difficult times at best in the United States. We find all kinds of things coming at us and mixing in with our family, and we see it rear its head, and we have to stay together. I try and be positive with my family and uplifting and teach them from the Bible, which is, we're together in this world. Even my students at school, I teach preschool, I tell them, this is a bubble here. We're in a bubble. And we need to learn to get along and take care of each other, and we're going to get through it somehow. We're going to make it through there. We just have to keep remembering that, God is first. Jesus is first. There isn't anyone else like him. He knows that we're going to have trouble and strife here in the world because of sin, and he's the one that's guiding us.
Wow,
So
Teresa, you've said some things here that it really intrigued me, and it seems like you have a very positive outlook given some of the things that have happened in your family. You didn't specify, and I'm not asking you to, but you mentioned, I think you said traumas that have occurred, and I don't know, what the nature of those were, but some of these things can be challenging to overcome, and when they happen within a family, and then you've got to sort of relate to family members in one way or another, maybe at family gatherings, or maybe you keep a distance, I don't know, but could you share generally, not specific, we don't specifics, Teresa, but how you have just come to this place of, I guess, peace in your heart and a knowledge, like you just said, that God is in control and holds all things together?
Well, it's not easy. It hasn't been easy because I'm talking about trauma. Trauma's severe. And, we have to have something to hold on to when everything else is gone. And that's when I believe the Lord revealed himself to me and just kind of said, I'm here, be calm, and realize that the world is what it is, but I'm here.
Right. Well, and Teresa, what I took away from your story is when you had shared about the trauma in your family, the PTSD, that the issues that are happening in your family, it sounds like you're committed to your family, though. You are committed. You have made a commitment to your family of origin. That's huge. And just like with the world or with any relationship or marriage, relationships, it takes others to also give their commitment as well. And it sounds like you have a family that's committed to that, and that is a beautiful thing. And you talk about being God at the center of it, and that is so huge. I mean, we could take that in a grander scale to our world. Look what's happening in our world. We took God out of the center, and look what's happening. We have chaos in the world. So you're right. We have to bring God into the center. And it makes me think of my own family. I think somewhere along the way, in my own family, Teresa, we kind of lost that God-centered feeling in my family and kind of let emotions trample over it. And in that you really hit a chord with me, and I thought, you're right on, Teresa, and maybe we could all walk away from that today, bringing God back into the center of our families and being committed together as a family. I hope
It's a personal choice. It's each and every choice we make, whether we choose to yell at that person today or whether we choose to stand back and say, wait, how would Jesus handle this? That's the point where, the trauma kind of reveals itself. And so we have the Lord's words that he's given us in the Bible to help us through that, and we somehow muddle through it.
That's a good way to put it, Teresa. Like an earlier caller said, the imperfectly perfect families. Thank you, Teresa, for calling. We're going to pray for you and just ask God to just surround all of you with healing and peace and reconciliation in whatever ways that you might need. Now, thank you so much. We're going to get over to Pat, our last caller of the day. Pat is listening in to EWTN Radio in Iowa. Hi, Pat. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, Pat. What are your thoughts on this? Got about maybe 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I know we're cutting it short, but I just wanted to throw in about family, how close my family is, and especially my aunt. She's a Sister of Mercy, and my mom is in a care center, and the work that she does to help my mom. So it shows from years ago how they grew up close and how they've stayed close over the years, and it's just an inspiration to all of us.
Wow, that is beautiful. How big is your family, Pat?
There's me, and I've got a brother and sister, and my mom and aunt. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, that is a fantastic gift, actually, to have your mom and her sister be close, who is a sister. So, Debbie, we had one caller, Marina. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I was just going to say my aunt is 90 years old. My mom will be 89 next Tuesday.
Oh,
and
my
at 90,
goodness.
90 years old, she's still, she's up
Going
and down
strong.
the halls of the care center, taking care of people, looking in on them, praying with them. And
that's beautiful.
What she does for my mom is
Precious.
It's beyond
precious.
words.
Yeah, it's precious, Pat. You're blessed. You have a blessed family, and thank you for taking the time. I know you're probably busy today, but you took the time to share your story, and it does give us that.
I just came from there.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, we go to Mass every morning together.
That's priceless. And please remember the whole Take Two family at Mass. If you can do that as well, we would appreciate it. And
I do.
Thank you so much, Pat.
We enjoy your show very much.
Oh, good. That makes us feel good, doesn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, thanks, Pat, so much for calling. And, we're reminded today, Debbie, we had a caller, Marina, mention that her brother's a priest, and Pat mentioned his aunt is a sister. And that reminds me, Monday and Tuesday. Folks, please help us spread the word. Monday's show, we're going to kind of take a bit of a chance here because we don't know how many priests or religious have time to listen to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. But we want to hear Monday from our priests, our ordained priests, why you love being a priest. So please tell your pastor at Mass this weekend to tune in to Take Two, or put it on your social media. And we're just going to try that. If we don't have enough of them listening, it means they're busy ministering to God's people. But on Monday, why I love being a priest, and on Tuesday, why I love being a religious brother or sister.
I was just going to say, if we don't get enough priests to fill up the lines, we can always go to the moms of the priests. There we go. We go the families of the priests. That would be kind of cool, too, as well. But we're hoping for priests, so please pray about that. Spread it out on social media. We'll do our part on EWTN, Catholic Radio Facebook page, and also take2show.com. But you guys got to help us. Remember, we're a family, so we got to help each other. Okay, so I just got my takeaway, or it's not really a takeaway. I just got a text message from a friend who said, so why don't you tell everybody that you really do love your family? I do. I love my big Italian family. I just kind of love them a little bit from a distance, if that's okay. But I do love my family, and this was another great show. Dear listeners, you did it. You drove the show. We all learned something. We got a little bit closer to God, and that's the name of the game.
All right, I want to remind you to go by Jerry and Debbie website. And the way to get there is to go to Take Two Show. Take the number 2show.com. If you're not too blinded by that big yellow and J&D logo. Have you seen that yet? Go to take2show.com. Just look at our logo. Tell us what you think. It's big, bright, yellow J&D. Click on that. Post on the prayer wall. Or again, Debbie and I were starting to get more inquiries about coming out and doing the radio show on location and speaking at parishes and conferences, so we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, and thanks again, you guys. We want to wish you a beautiful and blessed weekend. See you real soon.